All right, guys, we are back with round one Edison format at Epik Cards and Games in Hurst, Texas. We got Donis on the left playing Diva Hero versus the return of Daniel on the right. Now today he's playing some like hand control Frog Monarch deck. This was a single elimination tournament, no top cut. I think Epik kind of changed it to where we need, I think, 12 players minimum to do top cut. I think. And so I think on this particular day we had 11 or maybe 12 exactly. I don't remember. It looks like Donis is going first. Sets a monster, sets a back row, and Daniel with the Upstart in his Frog Monarch hand control deck. Now these two have yet to get a win on the channel. Chris has been in they've both been in the finals a few times. I think Chris twice, while Daniel's been in the finals, I think 3 to 4 times. Yeah, I think Daniel's been in the finals quite a few times, but he made the finals once with GBs, I think 3 times with Nurse Burn, but he's been switching decks, which I actually didn't mind playing against. Here comes the Oscar special, double Upstart, but as far as like, I didn't mind playing against Daniel's Nurse Burn deck, because I felt it kind of gave me a little bit of practice for Chain Burn and just burn decks in general. But now he's playing Frogs, and this version of Frogs I don't like. I prefer the Frog Hero version, but anyways. Here, Daniel sets a monster and passes to Chris. Chris is one of the few Diva Hero players on the channel. So here comes Water Art. Tributes Treeborn. Now he's going to look at Chris's hand. And come on, Chris. Chris shows Mally, Reaper, Dust Shoot, Return, and Mirror Force. This is going to come down to your back row because he could hit you with Spirit Reaper. You definitely don't want to discard Mally, so probably not Mirror Force. Maybe the Dust Shoot. Return is not that threatening, right? At least right now, so it's either Reaper or Dust Shoot. Yes, so this is Spiritual Water Art, so he's able to discard a trap card. So now Chris summons Reaper, attack, and here he Mirror Forces. Okay, so that makes sense why he chose the Dust Shoot. Now he sets the second back row. Standby Treeborn from Daniel. Daniel, I've said this many times, has the best. He has the most iconic mat on the channel. And then here comes, I think he's going to normal summon Sub. Now, I don't know if Daniel plays like Unifrog and stuff in his deck. Now, let's think about what monster would Chris set? Sangan? Snowman? And Diva Hero. Now, we kind of don't know he's playing Diva Hero. I mean, would you? Maybe. It's a possibility. I'm just thinking that if I didn't know who Chris was and I randomly ran into him at a tournament and I see those cards in his hand, it's a possibility he's playing Diva Hero, but it's not guaranteed. All right, anyways. Here we wait while Daniel does the, frog combo, get rid of all his frogs. It feels like I haven't done commentary in a while because I've been I was at Indianapolis. All right, here he soul exchanges. No, you just tribute it, yeah. Oh, it's a Treeborn. Okay, that's one monster I didn't think about. So Treeborn. Get the Dupe Frog. Man, if Daniel plays Unifrog, he's in a good spot. So he switches. But he has Mirror Force, so you're probably not going to attack. You're probably just going to pass. Now, we've seen the new Frog Hero variants that have performed well the past couple of Ultimate Time Wizard tournaments. They're opting not to main deck Dupe Frogs, and I don't even think they're main decking Unifrog either. Maybe, I can't remember. I have to go back and look at the deck list, but it gives you less options. Me, personally, I would at least play 1 Dupe Frog just to have the option to go get it. I think 2, you don't have to play 2, but anyways, here he bottoms the Ryza, nails the other back row. So it's probably the Mirror Force then, right? Yeah, he probably nailed the Mirror Force. So he's going to attack him directly with Swap. I'm glad to see all the Frog Hero players are finally on Upstart. It's about time. Because Frogs is not really an OTK deck. And after you dump all your Frogs, if you do the sub combo, and you upstart, you're gonna draw into your miracles and your Caiuses and your monarchs. It's a deck that I'm glad people are finally putting upstart in. Blackwings and occasionally, but most of the time, I think the reason upstart is not popular in Blackwings and Bayou is because people care about the life points too much. That's my guess. All right, so here comes the Stalos. Nails the return, so you know he's got Mirror Force in his hand. So bounce the Thestalos. Guess you could run over the Treeborn. You know, he's got Mally and Mirror Force, right? Yeah. So he decides to Mirror Force a swap. If he has another one in the deck, he could just go get it with Substitoad. So, yeah, this game's not looking good for Chris. Maybe you set everything and hope that and then get him to hit your Mally with the Stalos. Yeah. I think that's the game plan for Chris here. Let me set my monster in my back row and hopefully he Stalos my Mally. Now he's going to go sub. Or no, he's not using sub. He tributes for the Stalos. He's going to nail the Mally, but Chris is going to take 600. Or, yeah, 600. He's got double the Stalos. So yeah, Daniel's deck is like a hand control Monarch deck. He's playing, what's the trap card called? Drop Off. He's playing Spiritual Water Art. I think 3 Thestalos. Not your typical, I mean, it's kind of like a pure Frog Monarch deck, but he's just more emphasizing the hand control. All right. So now he ends on the famous Stoop Block, and then Thestalos attacks. Chooses to attack Treeborn. I mean, Chris has got, like, no cards. There's the drop-off I was telling you guys about. So he drops off the Caius. Oh, man. That sucks. I don't think Chris can win. He's about to get this. No, he can't. He has no cards in his hand, but here comes Upstart. So Daniel drew all 3 Upstarts. Yeah, but like I said, the life points really, really don't matter in this deck. This deck wins through advantage. Just like Rising you, Caiusing you, Miracle Fusion. Well, at least the Frog Hero version. Alright, so he attacks him over Prodigy, hits him directly for 24. So all Chris has is the Mally in the grave and whatever his 2 cards are. I don't think we know what they are. At least to set the face down, we don't know what it is. Or maybe I forgot. Well, his hand was like Mirror Force, Return. Yeah, it was Mirror Force, Return, Mally. What are the other cards in his hand? Mirror Force, Return, Mally. All right, so here comes Future Fusion. Reveal Ab-Zero. What's he going to send? Let's see. Chris is going to send Ocean and Diva. But can you survive? He's at 7,000, so pass to Daniel. Did he draw Caius? Caius would be insane right here if he drew a Caius. Just Caius the Future Fusion, and that's pretty much game. Let's see if he... Or Ryza. Ryza would be insane as well, but it looks like he's just going to attack him. 48. Oh, he has another Soul Exchange, so he passes. Chris draws. Turn 1 on the Future Fusion. He drew Snowman. Okay. Set. Snowman. Did he just draw Heavy? I did sign 1 Heavy Storm this past weekend at Indy. It was Donovan's Heavy Storm. And he actually made me write heavy on the card. So here he what happened? He attacked with the Snowman. I guess I'll say where I got the Heavy Storm from here in a bit. That catchphrase. All right, come on, Chris. What'd you draw, man? You have Mally in the graveyard, so you do have some plays. Okay, so Chris summons Diva. So he can now. The only issue is what does this do for you? You're still staring down the dupe block. I guess while he decides what to do, as far as the story goes and where the heavy storm catchphrase came from, I think I kind of copied it from my friend Adrian. Like, I remember he was telling a story where like his opponent, like, heavy stormed them and then summoned Rescue Rabbit, and that's kind of where I got it from. He was like, people at YCS when they lose, everyone comes up to you and they tell you, "Man, I got so unlucky." Well, and I think that's where Adrian was telling me a story where his opponent went heavy, some rabbit, and then that's kind of where I got it from. All right, so anyway, Diva, Gilman. Yeah, I'm trying to think what he can do here. He has no cards in his hand. Can't attack. Can you make Dark End? Yeah, I guess you can make Dark End. You'll out the dupe block that way, but yeah, because you can make Dark End. You just need any tuner, but the other monster has to be a non-tuner. So you could make Dark End with Diva and Mally. So Dark End, send the dupe, attack. You'll at least out the dupe block, but you still have to deal with the Stalos. So this play does nothing. At least this buys you time. He just drew a Geki break. Does he have the life points? What happened to the phone? Why is the phone face down? Oh, no, it's not face down. So standby Treeborn. Enemy controller. Target the Treeborn. Okay. I mean, Chris can't do anything. Yeah, give him the Treeborn. Oh, sorry. He's going to switch the Treeborn to attack mode. And attack the Treeborn for game. Okay, that's what happened. So Daniel takes game 1 against Chris's Diva Hero deck. Now, one thing I do want to mention is Diva Hero has never won on the channel. Not because it's not a good deck. It's just no one plays it. Donis is like the one Diva Hero player on the channel. So Chris starts off by T-setting and pass to Dan. Sets 2. This guy wants to get heavy stormed again. No, he doesn't have heavy. Soul Exchange, though. All right, here comes Swap Frog. Swap Frog effect. Kick down Treeborn. Now, will he attack into the set monster? What do you think it is? It could be Sangan, Treeborn. It could be a lot of cards. Sangan, Treeborn, Spirit Reaper, Snowman. So it is Treeborn. Treeborn for Caius. Chain Dust. Nails the Torrential. I think he has Gores. Would you be afraid of Gores? Let's find out. Attacks him, no Gores. Now, if that was me, he would have had Gores. Because I don't. People just always draw Gores against me. Maybe because I cut it out of my deck and it's coming back. My opponents are punishing me for not running Gores. Maybe that's why. Even I lost in top 8 at the Ultimate Time Wizard. My opponent had Gores game 3. But I felt like I had to attack into it. I was kind of like at a point where I was like, man, I am losing this match. I just got to hope he doesn't have Gores. It's like the only way I win. And he had it. Okay, anyway. Here, he attacked for 24. Probably tribute for the Stalos. Yep, the Stalos. And here comes Bottomless. Now let's see which card Daniel's going to nail with the Stalos. And it is Spirit Reaper, so he's going to take 300. Set 1. And pass. Here comes Drop Off. Yeah, you got to be careful. Got to be careful. Standby Treeborn. Summon Diva. Does he only have one Treeborn? Can you Goyo him? Goyo the Treeborn. Goyo the Treeborn, man. You have to. Yeah. Definitely Goyo the Treeborn. Let's hope Chris sees the play. I'm pretty sure I did this at Indy this past weekend. I did this to like two Frog Hero players where I Goyo their Treeborn. But it looks like Chris is not going to go for it. Or there was one player, he was playing Frog Hero, and I made sure I went to go check if he had two Treeborn, so I chose not to make the Goyo. And he should have made Goyo here. Take the Treeborn. You open yourself up for a Caius play. No, Chris, come on, man. Goyo him. Oh man, those IG notifications. Is that IG? IG notification? I don't think it's. Is it IG? I can't tell. Okay. Oh man, Chris is gonna get punished. I see Caius in Daniel's hand. I see Substitoad. Heck, let's see what Daniel does. Yeah, he's got Caius and Substitoad. So pitch, swap. Oh, he can Caius him and bounce back his Caius. Now the question here is, I guess you get rid of the android. Well, let's say if he would have gone Goyo, he would have done the Swap Frog special play. So, yep, now he gets Caius. He's probably going to go for Android. Yep. You go for Android. Because the only thing you're afraid of is Gores. So maybe hit him with Caius. Yeah. Don't hit with the Caius. Yes, I agree. Hit him for 1,000. Bounce back your Caius. So if Donis does anything, you're going to Caius him. So had he gone for the Goyo play, it would have been a little bit differently. At least he wouldn't have a Caius in his hand. He would have to go special swap, tree for Caius, banish the Goyo, run over the Treeborn. But at least he wouldn't have the Caius back in his hand. Now he's going to get Caius and potentially Water Arted. So yeah, tribute Treeborn, banish his Treeborn. Oof. Swap Frog bounce. Attack. Yeah, Donis is getting cooked. Mirror Force as well. That saved him from getting Water Arted. Pass. Yeah, I don't see. Maybe Chris can win. How? If he had Miracle Fusion. So 50 something to 40 something. So what's Chris thinking? Okay, so he summons Ocean, attack him for 15. So he's got Ocean and Prodigy in his hand. Now you're gonna get Caius again. See, this is where some people they would just pass. When you know your opponent has Caius like this, a lot of the times they're gonna have if they're trying to go for game, they'll like have to Caius their own cards. But here you're just begging him to Caius you, so yeah, I'm not sure how good Needle Sealing is against certain decks. Okay. He didn't drop the Caius, so now he's going to Water Art, tribute the Treeborn. Reveals Decree. Wait, Decree against Frog Monarch? I think because he saw all the Water Arts and the drop-offs and stuff like that, that's why he put in the Decree. I'll just get rid of Mally Edge. I don't care about Decree. If anything, no, the Mally Edge, man. I mean, neither one of them do anything. Or is that his target? Is that the only hero in his graveyard? Okay, if that's the only hero in his graveyard, then I would hit the Decree. Yeah, because he's gonna get it. He's gonna get the the Prodigy back. Yeah, I don't think there's any other heroes in the graveyard. So yeah, the Decree was the correct play. All right, so it is Substitoad. I think we're just delaying the inevitable here. Yep. This looks like game to me. You could set that to buy yourself some time, but standby Treeborn. Now you're gonna get Caius, the the Prodigy, so he takes 1,000, and then attack. I'm not sure if that was correct. Depends on his graveyard. Because right now, the only thing you're afraid of is like, what, Miracle? So he passes, so 41 to 32. Is this not game? Just get a Swap Frog out of your deck? Yeah, this should be game. 35? Switch the sub to attack mode? Yeah, this should be game. Unless if I'm missing something. But, you know, they're gonna play it out. What is this thing Daniel was doing? Okay, swap. He's just playing out, but I'm pretty sure this is game. So, congrats to Daniel winning round 1. Now, wait, is this right? Okay, yeah, this is right, I think. No, this is not right. What's going on here? Yep. So he is going for game. Oh, he didn't go for game. What? He must have messed up. But Chris conceded. So Daniel is moving on with the round 1 win. So I'm gonna go over what happened to Daniel. I got paired against him round 2, and he beat me with the same deck. 2-0'd me right before I topped Indy. So maybe that was a sign I should have threw pulling the rug. You know what? Looking at it, man. Whenever Daniel told me, that should have been a sign to, hey, you need to put pulling the rug in your side deck. But I didn't. But yeah, Daniel and I got paired round 2. He won. So he's going to the finals. Yes, he's going to the finals. Now we're going to have to see who his opponent will be. For round 2, we have Yobani, who's been on fire lately with Vayu Turbo. But he switched back to GBs after he topped 3 semi-major events in a row. He topped the Edison Battlezone Royale both days at the PPG, and then switched to GBs. He's going up against 2-time Worlds competitor Jimmy Nguyen. Jimmy was at Indy with me last weekend. I had fun with him, and he was preparing for Indy, obviously. Now, this tournament that I'm uploading right now was 2 days before Indy. So, yeah, stay tuned for those 2 matches coming up. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't already, please consider joining our members only. I'm uploading an extra 2 to 3 videos a week, mostly DB replays. Also have a coupon code for 5% off Yu-Gi-Oh! Singles and product at Epik Cards and Games. All those links are in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time.